Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching. This is Michael Augustine, and I want to start this video off by asking you a question. Are you an entrepreneur at heart? And are you asking yourself the question, when do I quit my regular job after I started a business? If you are someone who has a regular job and you also have a side hustle and you're looking to quit your regular job to do your side hustle, this video is for you because I'm going to offer you a few tips that are going to help you with that decision, when it is best to do it, some pitfalls to watch out for, and some advice along the way. And that video starts right now. Hi, folks. I'm Mike Augustine, and I welcome you to this video. I'm an entrepreneur. Um, I've been one for a number of years. I currently have a full-time job as of this video, and it is something that I have pondered over the last couple of years. But the key is you want to do that transition correct and right. That's best for you and your family. And I felt that it was necessary to do this video because I'm sure there are a number of people that are in the same boat as I am. So when you are looking to quit your full-time job, now this is for people who have a full-time job, who have a side hustle, that are looking to transition out of full-time career-based work to do their side hustle full-time. All right. Now, these are some of the things that you need to consider when wanting to do that. First of all, you need to have a plan. For me, I have a 5-year plan. I have a 5-year plan. I've been working in my career for several years, and over the next 5 years, I want to make sure all the pieces are in place so that I can transition to full-time work in my side hustle. Now, what does that plan entail? Number one, you need to ensure that your side hustle replaces the amount of income that you are currently making at your full-time job plus a little extra. Okay, you have to make sure that you can survive on the income that your side hustle brings in, hopefully replaces your full-time income at your job. Okay. If you're at your job and you hate it right now, if you're at your full-time job and you hate it, try to look for another one. Try to do something that's similar to what you're doing now, or pick up something that generates a little bit of extra income that you can put away to support your other side hustles. I've known people that have 2 or 3 or 4 jobs. Okay. You have to make the choice for yourself. When you're looking to quit your full-time job to do your business that's part-time, you have to just look at yourself in the mirror and say, all right, I'm dedicated to wanting to do this. You have to be committed to wanting to do this. Right? You have to be committed to wanting to quit your full-time job to work your part-time business and make that full-time. All right. You have to say to yourself, I'm done. I've had it. What do I need to do to get this done? Now, you just don't up and quit. You got to sit down, lay out a plan, start working toward those steps. And usually it takes 3 to 5 years or sooner, depending on how fast and how quick you do your hustle. Okay. I'm not guaranteeing when you're going to quit your job. It's all dependent on you. I'm just giving you advice on what to think about and some things you want to do. So, what's important is sitting down, looking at yourself and your family, if you're married or you have kids, and saying, what do I need to do to support myself and my family going forward so we can make this transition? Number one, like I said, make sure you have enough money coming in that replaces the amount of money that your job currently is making you, is providing for you. And you want to add at least 20%. Now, that's just an estimate. I'm not an accountant. I would advise you go talk to an accountant for, you know, in your planning phases. All right. Number two, if you have medical needs, you know, how do I afford insurance? How do I afford insurance? And what do I have to do to get it? All right. Number three, if you want to change jobs, one of the things that I did to start with this transition is I had to look at my current employment and say, does my current employment allow me the time to put aside to work toward this 5-year plan? And I went and I switched jobs, was able to make the same amount of money, but it gave me a little bit more time to do these videos for you and also work on my business. So a couple things you can do is sit down and look at your bills on a daily basis. What are you spending? What can you save? What can you put away? Look at living like a minimalist. One of the big things that people really, really need to look at is how much money are you spending on a daily basis? And is that doing you any benefit? You know, go out and follow Dave Ramsey and his plan. Make a budget for yourself. Know where the money is coming in and going out. You could find ways to cut down on your bills significantly. I mean, for me, I had a very expensive phone plan. I cut that down significantly. I cut down my TV. I cut down my TV and internet. Uh, Paid off my credit cards, stuff like that, to lower the amount I was spending. I had a lot of credit cards that were high interest credit cards. I paid them off. I did a lot of extra side hustles to do all that. And the key is you want to have a good 6 to 12 months of expenses. Monitor your expenses for 6 to 12 months. Analyze how much you need to save so that if something happens where you need additional support, if you get laid off or something like that, you can cover yourself. So it may sound like I'm rambling a little bit, but these are some of the things that you want to consider now. You want to stop this video, rewind it, play it back, things like that. Take a lot of notes. Let me recap a minute. So if you're looking to quit your full-time job, and if you're doing something part-time and want to make that full-time, the biggest key is you need to sit down, look at yourself and your family if you are married, and say, what can I do to bring in the same amount of money that my job is currently making, plus an additional 20% or so on and so forth? And you want to make sure you can live off of that. Things you can do: minimalize your life, cut down your expenses, you know, stop going out with friends if it's just going out to drink or something like that. Put them on the back burner because, hey, you're building a business. It's your life. Because in the end, I don't know. I know this may sound rude, but you're the one that's going to be responsible for yourself and your life, not your friends. Hopefully, they're going to be there for you when you need something, and hopefully, they support you. Live minimally. Save 6 to 12 months of expenses for starters, because an emergency could arise when you're working on this. You need a plan, a 5-year plan to lay down and say, okay, at the end of 5 years, I want to be doing X so I can leave Y, which is your job. Plain and simple. Now, the key you don't want to do is quit your job early and just go at it willy-nilly, because if it doesn't work out, you need to find a way to get another job to keep that money going in. This is a very critical conversation because a lot of people get frustrated at their jobs. I've been there. Uh, there are days I just says I want to do something else, and then I keep going and things are fine. You want to go at it responsibly, and you need to go at it in a continued effort with you and your spouse. If you're married, have conversations with your spouse and say, hey, I want to do this. Let's work toward this. Be in agreement. Okay. I would suggest following the Dave Ramsey plan to save yourself some time, money, and do a lot of financial preparations for this. Um, there are there are things I like about the Dave Ramsey plan and things I don't necessarily like about it. And I'm not going to go into it in this video, but if you are fiscally responsible with your money, then you don't necessarily need Dave Ramsey. But if you're not fiscally responsible, then you need to go on a Dave Ramsey plan. A lot of people aren't fiscally responsible. Look at your cars. Are you saving? A lot of people have expensive car payments. Cut your cars down. Get a beater or something. Travel with that. Find any way to cut your expenses now. So let me recap here and then we'll end this video. Number one, if you are looking to leave your full-time job to handle your part-time job, part-time business, and make that full-time, key things you need to consider. Replace the money that's coming into your full-time job with your part-time business. Next thing you do is cut down all of your expenses. Live as minimal as possible. Save 6 to 12 months of expenses or longer in case of a medical reason, and then sit down and make a 5-year plan and say, what do I need to do within 5 years to quit my job at the end of 5 years? Because it just, in my mind, it just doesn't happen tomorrow unless you're, winning the lottery. Okay. Sit down with your spouse. If you are married, talk it over. Cut down expenses in your house, form a budget, follow the Dave Ramsey plan if you are not fiscally responsible. If you're fiscally responsible, then you don't necessarily have to do it. Save your money, put your money away. Okay. Figure out how you can afford your expenses plus insurance when you do leave the job, because you're going to need insurance. And make sure that you account for inflation, because 20% or more, and you want to talk to an accountant for the exact numbers, as years go on, prices are going to go up. So you want to look at that. Okay. It's very, very important that you play this video over and over and over and then share it with other people that may be in a similar situation that you are. Now, if you are in a business or you're looking to start a business, I have a 12-point checklist that you can download that gives you key areas to focus on when you're building an online business or retail. I would suggest you go read it, download it. It's absolutely free. Okay. There are other videos on my channel about how to do a business, so I encourage you to subscribe and also reach out to me directly on if you have any business related questions. Again, I feel this video is important and I hope it was beneficial for you. And I encourage you to give it a thumbs up if it is. Tell me in the comments if it is. This is Michael Augustine, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.